Good evening, gentle viewers, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Top 5 Lists. For the purposes of this channel, I'll go by Listman. That sounds good, Listman. Hopefully not too pretentious or anything like that, but I guess I have to go by something other than my real name, because that would be... well, that wouldn't be very internet savvy of me, would it? So, anyway, the purposes of this channel, the reason that I'm creating it is I have a strong affinity for top 5 lists. Lists of all kinds. I think all guys especially just like lists. Boils things down to their essentials and puts them in priority. This being better than that. It's competitive and it's just the way to organize things. Compartmentalize. It's perfect. So, top 5 lists, I think, are the perfect list because you have a top 10 list, top 25 list, top 100 list. You really start to water things down. So when you get to a top 10 list, there's still a few that, and number 10 is something you might throw in there as a token, a nod to somebody else. But a top 5 list, you're serious when you give a top 5 list. So that's why I created this channel, mainly to make top 5 lists for gaming, because I dig video games, especially classic video games, but all kinds. So that's going to be the focus of the channel. If something else strikes my fancy, I'll go for it, but mostly it will be top 5 lists that pertain to gaming. So, now that I've given my intro, I'll give you a quick tour of my little setup here. It's not much. A few years ago, I moved many thousands of miles and had to kind of start over my whole gaming collection. So it's not. I mean, there's some amazing collections on YouTube. I hate to start naming some of the channels. Maybe I'll put them in the description. Some of the great channels out there that you should check out. I'm sure you've already seen them though if you found my channel. But anyway, let's have a quick look around, and then I'm going to get started on making the first actual list video, which is going to be the top 5 beat-em-ups of all time, because that's my favorite genre of game. Okay, here we're looking at my little area, my nook, if you will. There's a quick pan shot, and I'll kind of zoom in and sort of show you. It's not a whole lot going on there, but just to familiarize you with the area I'm working in. There it is right there. It's my corner of the office. The missus takes this corner. Hers is much neater than mine, but never you mind that. I'm going to undock from the mothership, i.e. the tripod, and we'll have a quick look about. It's always fun to do. So here is my reverse chronology of Nintendo systems, other than the latest, the Wii, which I keep all the current gen systems out in the living room. And then here's my Sega systems, Master System hiding up top, old PlayStation I don't actually even have hooked up anymore because of hiding a tiny little PlayStation 2 Slim, and there's good old Atari. Laptop desk, hello. That is an adult beverage. Be warned, there is adult content in these videos. And up to the top shelf, some PlayStation titles, Dreamcast titles, and the ubiquitous can of corn. Can't have a shelf without a can of corn. There's some Saturn games, Game Boy, Atari games. This is my favorite Saturn game right here, Knights. That's a great game. If you ever get a chance, give it a whirl. It's just weird and fun, which is what a video game should be. Because real life is not why we play video games. So there's a few. I intend to build, let me step back a second, some extra shelves right here and one right along there, because I'm having to double up some of this stuff. But anyway, here's bunch of Genesis games. I owned a Genesis, not a Super Nintendo as a kid, so I have a lot more of those, even though I've had to repurchase most. And yeah, so this is just a few DS games, GameCube games. I can't even remember what that is. And yeah, this is my Beatles album collection. Oops, I'm looking with my head, not the camera. The Beatles are awesome. Most of us are too young to remember them, obviously, but they're worth checking out because they have a lot of great music. And it's really fun to collect their albums. And it's probably going to be a top 5 list now that I think about it. Just a few of them here. Abbey Road. It's an excellent album. Arguably my favorite, maybe the White Album. It's just fantastic. You get two albums, so it's hard to argue with that. Again, I need to back off from that because this is not the top 5 Beatles albums video. This is the video showing my little area. So there it is. And I really plan to do a lot more videos, so I thought I'd show off the area so you know what's going on. Okay, so stay tuned for more videos. I definitely plan to do that.